We're now going to chat with Saimee. Saimee, look, we're standing at the turf of the Singapore Turf Club, and this is where you've been many, many times ready to make your decisive move. Let's talk about some of those moments, but let's begin right at the start. Becoming a jockey, it's not run of the mill, certainly. How did you decide to do that?
Well, I was born into racing. My dad looks after a few horses in the stables, and in those days, there's not much of a restriction to come into the stable. So after school, I remember just throw my bags out of the way, and just went straight to the stables and just to be with horses with that, So from there, the love for horses grew with me, and once I sat on a horse, I just love riding.
Now tell me something, is it the horse that makes the jockey or the jockey that makes the horse?
I think it's the horse that makes a jockey. Obviously, a jockey has got a lot of dedication, discipline, and a bit of know-how to ride a horse, but good horses makes good jockeys.
All right, now talking about discipline, dedication and hard work, what's your day like? What time does Saimee wake up in the morning? What time does he eat breakfast? What does he do? What time does he go to sleep?
Well, for me, a typical day for Saimee is wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and be at the track by 6 o'clock, track work till about 10 to 11 o'clock, go back home, probably have just a bit of rest, brunch after that. Don't have breakfast because it's hard to ride with a full stomach. During the afternoon, I work myself up, go for a bit of exercise, try to maintain my weight to a level that I'm satisfied with. And after that, have a nice swim. Usually I like to have a bit of a swim after my workout and spend time with the kids when they come back from school, and dinner with them, and just relax and watch your movies with the wife, relaxing day, and then go to bed by 10 o'clock. That's a typical day of life of Saimee.
All right, well, let's talk about your family in just a moment. We'll come back to that. But one thing, as a rider, you work the horses in the morning, so you pretty much understand what they are. You've seen many of them race, you've ridden against some of them, and you've ridden many of them yourself. But how much form do you need to study going ahead? How do you select the horses that you're going to be riding?
Well, at first, you try to get to know them as much as you can in the morning. And your work doesn't finish there because you have to look around for horses that you want to get on without knowing them, without getting on them. So you watch the trials, and you watch them going down the gallops in between riding the horses, and try to select them and try to pick up some talents on the track and bring up the connection, try to get the rides, and then you go on from there.
Well, now let's talk about the best moments you've had, at least in Singapore. I mean, this track has been so special for you. You are not just a sportsman, but you're one of the elite sportsmen of Singapore, aren't you?
Oh, it's so privileged to hear that, but we all do our best, and like I said, the horses makes good jockey, and I'm privileged enough and blessed enough and so lucky to get on to be associated with a lot of good horses in Kranji, and obviously the best moments is Uzo winning the SI Cup.
All right, let's talk about some of the good ones this year. Better than ever, he's done so much for you, but how far does he get? This question mark has always been in my head. How far does he stay?
Well, it's always like I say, until we test him, we will never know. But I think, he's proven over 1800 meters, and this year he's gonna step up another level. He's gonna go through the 4 Euro Series. The first one is 1400. Then we go into the 16, and with the last one, the Derby, 2,000 meters. But as we all know, that he can switch off in a race, so that's a big plus for him. And he's got that acceleration and a good turn of foot. So hopefully that will bring him, stretch him a bit further to 2,000 meters.
All right, now let's go from the good to the bad. What was the most difficult period of your life as a jockey?
I don't think of that much, but I would say the toughest days were obviously during the apprentice days, and trying to get the trust, the confidence in trainers and owners to get on the horses, and also after that, maintaining, and after when you reach the top, maintaining to be at the top is difficult enough with a lot of competition the last few years in Kranji right now. I would say the lowest part is. And also when I get a disqualification, for about a year, that was the toughest to accept. But you move on from there,
What are your ambitions moving forward? What do you want to achieve yet?
Well, obviously try to win the premiership again because, like I said, it's always getting tougher and tougher every year. And I think the competition this year is the toughest ever. And I'm sitting third, and it's very hard to catch the leaders. But you keep trying. You never know. It's only first quarter of the year, and keep trying. And if I don't make it this year, I'll try to make it next year.
All right, let's talk about some of the things you like. Your favorite color, for example, your favorite type of food, your favorite types of film.
Well, color, I like blue. Food, I love Japanese food and Western food. Movies, I like inspiring movies like Braveheart, and Rocky 3, sort of all those inspiring movies, and I like things that make me happy. Yeah.
But maybe one day they'll make a film on your life, Saimee.
Yeah, I don't know about that because I don't know, but maybe.
Well, it's inspiring, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
let's
it
talk
is.
about your family. Let's talk about how inspiring they've been in your life, in your career.
Well, it's like I say, looking at the positive side, mom's been a great fan of mine, so was my late father. And, just looking at them and they're so happy, and the rest of my siblings are so happy with my achievement, and they're happy with their lives, and you spend time with them as much as you can, and I know when you grow older, they all have got different, lives to lead. And you catch up and you do as much as you can catching up with them and try to look back into the olden days and see all the nieces and nephews growing up and see what they want to do. They want to emulate you sometimes, so it's really nice to know that. And look, if an opportunity goes by and something, and one of my nieces and nephews, my sons, if they want to be a jockey, I'll guide them through and through.
What message would you give them, or any young jockey trying to come up and become a Saimee?
Well, life's never easy, so try harder.